the past can help guide us into making smart decisions for the future, we don't have a crystal ball and we cannot absolutely for certain say this is exactly what's going to happen.
If you're not conscious about your investment strategy, you won't end up where you want to be, not financially or as a human. On this show, we interview highly successful investors and share how they overcame limitations to become unstoppable forces of success. If you're ready to learn what it is to be a conscious investor so you can end up where you want, keep listening.
Welcome back, Conscious Investor. Today, we are diving into a conscious investor's money mindset. Do you have a smart money mindset, a scared money mindset, a patient or fast money mindset? Because each of these money mindsets is going to have a direct correlation to how your investments go, what kind of investments you're going to choose, and ultimately the outcome that you are going to be the recipient of. The choices today are going to have a direct implication as to what you're going to receive in the future. So let's go ahead and let's distill what these different money mindsets are. Smart, scared, patient, fast, all of these money mindsets. We're going to break them down and then you get to decide. You are in charge of your future. And so you get to decide which kind of mindset you're going to have. Let's go ahead and jump into scared money. A lot of people have a scared money mindset. Here are some implications, or I'm sorry, here are some ways we can know, or some of the little key points of scared money. Scared money, they're scared of losing money. They don't want to lose. I mean, I don't want to lose money either. Okay. So I get that. Scared money also is the opposite. They have FOMO, the fear of missing out on making money, which is kind of funny because they're risk adverse. And so it's going to be really challenging to make money with scared money. Also, they're scared of not making enough money. So 3 key points on scared money, right? They are scared of losing money. They are scared of missing out on an investment, and they are scared of not making enough money. Kind of funny because all of that fear kind of paralyzes many people that have that scared money mindset. And so all 3 of those fears become a reality because they're not going to make it. With a scared money mindset, you end up losing money because you're not investing wisely. And so that fear of missing out on an investment does become a reality. And the fear of not making enough money, well, that also becomes a reality because that polarization, that paralyzed, scared money mindset prevents people from taking the necessary risks associated with actually making money. Here's another softer way of putting it. So maybe you're listening and you're like, well, I don't have scared money, Julie, because I really don't fall into those categories. I am investing. So let's consider this for a moment. Let's consider, where is your money housed right now? Is your money housed safely tucked away inside a savings account? And guess what? Oh, Julie, don't worry. I am actually making like 5% interest annually right now off of that money sitting in the bank account, which, come on. I mean, we can remember it wasn't making much money, a year ago. I've heard some people talking about like, oh no, my money's making money. So I'm going to just err on the side of, oh, great, your money's making 5%. Let me ask you this. Is that 5% how millionaires are made? Is that 5% how you're actually going to have what you need to take care of yourself in your later years, to provide for yourself and the things that you want to create and generate in your life? I'm just going to have to say, millionaires aren't made off money sitting inside bank account. Millionaires are not made off of buying treasuries and bonds and just sitting there. Okay. Scared money holds us back. So what's the opposite of scared? Well, we could have smart money. Smart money is taking a risk tolerant approach. It means that we are actually deeply comfortable with the risks associated with investing. We understand that in order to make money, there will be some level of risk. And guess what? Money sitting inside a bank account actually bears a risk. Did you know, and I'm not suggesting this is happening tomorrow in America, but in other countries, and this can happen in any country, but in other countries, governments have confiscated money from people's accounts. There's actually legislation in our own country of the United States of America that allows the government to do this as well. So that money sitting in the bank account really does have bear a level of risk. It also bears that risk of, can it actually generate the returns necessary for you to even keep up with inflation? But I'm getting a little off track. So let me go ahead and get myself righted and talk about the risks that smart money accepts. Smart money accepts that every single investment bears a potential loss. And as I was saying, money in a bank account can also get lost. Money that is saved at home in that, like, oh, I've got my vault at home and I'm saving gold and silver and I have my dollars and, I've got my piles of cash like Scrooge McDuck. You're not a Scrooge. Don't worry, conscious investor. I'm not calling you a Scrooge, but we can have that money like stashed away. Well, okay, there can be a fire, there can be a robbery, there can be all sorts of things that happen that could instantly destroy that. No matter what we do, we cannot completely insulate and safeguard our money and protect it from any, the potential risks that are out there. Another risk that, smart money accepts is they say, hey, we understand we can't predict the future. We don't have a crystal ball. Nobody's been able to predict the future. And I just love how everybody right now is like such a genius. I think over the last 20 years, I have seen this over and over and over again, where somebody's like, oh, this person's predictions are always right. Just look at their track record. And it's like, actually, really, how right are they? And who are we actually following? Because nobody has a crystal ball. And yes, we can really try to time markets and we can look at data and information to try to glean what is coming in the future. But guess what? Nobody expected the elongated real cycle curve that we were in for so many years. Nobody predicted that we were going to have a pandemic. Nobody predicted that in 2020, despite a pandemic, that real estate was going to absolutely skyrocket and soar. Most people were, oh my gosh, this is the doom and gloom. And they were watching, all the little markers on excuse me, on the scales to say, oh, wait, look at this. We have an inverted yield curve. Now it's going to happen. It's going to happen within X months. Or, okay, the interest rates, this is what's going to happen with them because this has to happen. None of these things are coming true. And this is what is so important. Like, it is important, and smart money understands. Educate yourself, understand the key indicators, understand the dynamics, but also understand, as much as those, the past can help guide us into making smart decisions for the future, we don't have a crystal ball and we cannot absolutely for certain say this is exactly what's going to happen. This is why it is so imperative, just like a little sidebar here, in all of our investments, we have multiple exit strategies. We don't know what the future is going to hold. So in our investments, we have multiple ways that where we can exit out and protect our investors, insulate them from the risk that is associated with any single investment. By the way, we also, generally speaking, have a really double the runway on our loans for our investments because that gives us time to make decisions. It gives us space to not be pressured and up against the wall. When I look at the type of loans that we have on the investments in our portfolio, I'm like, I can sleep at night. It's like, okay, this is comfortable. This is good. We've got time on our side if something goes crazy and it's time for us to sell. One other risk that smart money accepts is that there is always some level of uncertainty. And we kind of touched on that, right? With the other point of we can't predict the future. there is going to be some uncertainty. We cannot predict everything. And so smart money accepts that. Okay. The other thing about smart money, aside from accepting associated risks, is that smart money actually looks for investments that they are going to get a good or even better return on their investment. That's one reason I absolutely love investing in real tangible real estate. I love that, you know what? I know I'm getting a good or okay, let's be real. I'm getting a significantly substantially better return, especially when I am looking at the risk associated. I love that we are invested and our investors are invested in real, physical, tangible real estate that you can really go see, touch, don't taste it. I wouldn't try tasting it, but you can feel it and all of that, right? You can sense it. You can go there and experience the investment that you are participating in. I love this. I love that it is not correlated directly to any currency. There is always going to be a value associated with land. There's always going to be a value associated with a real tangible building. Okay. So when I look at how we invest, I really appreciate it. So we have two different types of money that we've gone through right now, right? We've gone through the scared money and we've gone through smart money, but there are two other types that are opposites as well. And that is patient money and fast money. If you've been listening, Conscious Investor, for more than a few episodes, you've likely heard me talk about my e-commerce debacle. God was so good, so patient, so kind with me that it did not end in like a catastrophe as it should have. But that was fast money. I was chasing after fast money. I was looking for other passive investment strategies. I was looking for diversification in the portfolio. And many episodes ago, you will hear me going through the very beginning of this saying, hey, I'm dabbling into this. I'll keep you posted, Conscious Investor, and let you know if this is actually worth pursuing. I wanted to be the guinea pig, which is what I did with investing in multifamily complexes as well. Let me walk the path before you. Let me try this out. Well, that chasing after the fast money of e-commerce versus the patient money of, multifamily and large multi-million dollar real estate syndications, there's a complete difference between the two. The fast money is very volatile and it's extremely risky. You have very limited control, lots of outside factors that could go in and completely destroy what you are working on. And that happened to me, to my Walmart e-com store. It got shut down when I had $126,000 leveraged on an Amex card. That was not fun. Having these huge payments coming due, looming over when Walmart could have held my money for, I think up to 6 months. That's insane. It really put myself, my family, everything was just put at risk. And it felt okay. I'm taking a calculated risk. I vetted this team. I've gone through this process. I think I know what I'm doing. This is a passive income stream. And yet it completely blew up in my face because we don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict the future. And Walmart just completely changed its mind about its e-commerce partners. So all this to say, fast money is volatile and it can erupt in your face. And some people have that, they have a risk threshold that can handle that type of volatility with their investment. Personally speaking, that taught me a valuable lesson that I will hopefully never have to learn again. And that is, hey, I like patient money. I like money that is, risk mitigated. Meaning I like money like with, risk adjusted returns to it where, okay, great. I am investing a substantial amount of money in this real estate asset. However, It's like a cruise ship out in the middle of the ocean, right? It is going along, and if a big storm comes up, it's not going to capsize the ship at all. It is going to make it a bumpy ride, maybe uncomfortable, but it's not going to sink the ship. Okay, we're not talking about icebergs out in the ocean. We're talking about storms. Um, Also, is considering, if we are talking about fast money, the comparison would be being in a little tiny fishing boat or a dinghy out in the middle of the same ocean, and the storm comes up and it just like tosses that boat around and capsizes it. Okay, patient money says I can go slow and steady. I can stay this course. And I'm not going to go slow and steady in the bank account because that's not going to get me to the destination I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, this money that's not actually going to grow fast enough that it's going to keep up with inflation and the living expenses and such that are always growing and evolving. I mean, think about this. People today that are in, the senior living space who are at these assisted living facilities that we're acquiring, who are in memory care and such, they could not have anticipated the cost associated with the level of care when they were, let's just say, 30, 40 years ago. I mean, we start making plans for our future, many of us, when we're in our, let's just say, late 20s, early 30s. Some people are early bloomers and begin in their early 20s, but oftentimes people don't start facing the reality of, I am going to age, I need to prepare for this until they are, late 20s, early 30s, if not older than that. And by the time we start doing that, we don't know what it's going to be like 25, 30, 40 years down the road when we may need to have a higher level of care. So we might make um we might make an assumption and a prediction like, okay, great. Historically speaking, we should anticipate tacking on X percentage into our savings. But really, those costs can skyrocket very, very quickly. Healthcare costs have skyrocketed over the last, 15 years. So when we start looking at scared money and patient money, we want to make sure that as we are selecting patient money, that we're not confusing it with that scared money where it's like, oh, I'm just going to hold on to my money and I'm going to keep it in my mattress, or I'm going to put it in this, CD account or this special savings account, or I'm going to buy bonds. No, patient money understands that it's going to have to incur some level of risk in order to grow at the capacity, at the rate to provide and care in the next, 25 to 40 years down the road in the future. So what are you, conscious investor? Are you smart, scared, patient, fast? You could be a combination of all of these. But I want to let you know that this is actually something I look for when I am speaking with investors who are coming into our investor community. When we have these phone calls, I'm listening for what kind of money mindset investors have, because we need to understand a money mindset behind the money coming into our investments so we can ensure that this is indeed the right place for your money. Because guess what? We don't do fast money. So our investments, they're not going to be fast. And if that's an investor's money mindset, I'm probably going to send you to a couple of friends that I know who have more the riskier, fast money type options, right? Um, I don't have many friends like that, by the way. Most of my friends are into very patient money. And I'm also listening for that scared money. There is always a level of risk in any investment. And sometimes people ask so many questions. Now, hear me out on this, conscious investor. And many of you have already had conversations with me, multiple conversations, some of you send me text messages and ask me questions. I love love those questions. But like I shared in a recent episode, when we start with the question number one and we answer, or we'll say A, we start at question A and then we answer A to Z and then somehow end back up at A, it just means that there's a fear there that needs more time. Okay. Because scared money isn't something that is ready to be put into our investments, quite frankly. We're looking for people that have matured in their money mindset to say, okay, no, I understand there are risks associated with all investments, but I also understand I can't get to where I need to be if I am just holding on to my money, gripping it with all my, with white knuckles and everything. So, what do we do about that? Well, we help educate you. So, if you do feel like, Julie, I do have scared money, I am nervous about this, I've never invested in, these syndications. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for even, looking into this as an investment strategy, then don't think that, oh, you're in the wrong spot. You're in the right spot. Listen to the podcast more, hop on a call with me, be one of those conscious investors that is, feeling things out and learning along the way, because I love educating you and I love supporting you in growing your money mindset. So wherever you are, if you're smart, scared, fast, patient, I love to get to know you. And I love to, support you in your investing journey, because it is a journey. And as we take our first and next steps in our journey, our money mindset expands beyond what we even anticipate when we take that first step. I am going to caution you that if you're going into an investment and they just seem very quick to take your money and they're not getting to know where your mindset is, just that's maybe a reason for pause, right? Because you want to make sure that the groups that you are investing with are taking time to understand you, understand your needs, your goals, your vision. And there's also, with all of our investments, we believe trust is a two-way street. Our investors need to be able to trust us. We need to demonstrate that we are trustworthy. But on the other hand, we need our investors to demonstrate that they too are trustworthy, that they are going to allow us the space and capacity to take action on the investment, on the business plan that we have set forth, and that they trust us in making those decisions that are going to be in their best interest. It's really an interesting two-way street. And remember, all investments mean it's not, oh, I'm giving you this money to go invest, Julie. It's no, we are in a partnership. We are partnering together. And I am a part of the partnership that's going to do the heavy lifting, but we're in this together. And that's an important place to be. You're not alone. You are together on a journey. I'd love to know what your money mindset is. So feel free, reach out to me. The link to my email is down in the show notes. You can email me directly at julie@3keysinvestments.com, all plural. I guess three isn't plural. It's more than one, so technically it's plural, but keys plural, investments plural, 3keysinvestments.com. Go ahead and shoot me an email. Let me know. Are you smart, scared, patient, fast? And if we haven't already had an opportunity to talk, guess what? That's what I'm here for. I love supporting investors just like you in taking their first or next steps. By the way, on that note, just a little bonus extra here towards the end of the episode is that I want you to know that we are committed to creating an investment path for all investors. So recently, we created an alternative path for some of our younger investors who weren't quite at our minimum investment amount. And what we did was we created a path for them to take that first or next step. Actually, will you guys cut that last part right there out? Let's not put that in there. Sorry. Conscious investor, I look forward to talking with you very soon. Make sure you schedule that time below. And if you haven't already left a rating or review for the show, will you just do me just a quick little honest rating and review before you leave. Until next time, live big, love bigger, and do great things. What's the big deal about investing in apartments? Why is it better than investing in a slew of single-family homes? I've compiled a lot of information on why investing in a multifamily, also known as apartments, will help you reach your investment goals. Head over to 3keysinvestments.com and download the Why Invest in Multifamily guide today.